Okay, our data is fully prepped and organized, so let's create our box plot. So just select the regions here and the first 4 rows of data through median. You don't have to include the bottom error or the top error because we'll add those in later. So with that portion of your data set selected, go to Insert, under Charts, go to your column or bar charts, and then in the 2D column option, you want the middle selection, the stacked column. So select that, and we'll just resize our chart here just a bit. Okay. All right. Now, I mean, it's very obvious that the box plot that we're going to end up with doesn't have a lot of similarity with what we start with. So we just have to go through a couple of steps to get that exactly where we need it to be. So one of the first things to do is this blue bar, what's coming in as our bottom series. If you right-click that, like if you double-click it, you'll select only one of the columns. You want to make sure, like, just click off and click on again to select the entire series so that all the blue bars are highlighted like that. Right-click that, go to Format Data Series, and you actually can go here on the Fill option, and you want to select No Fill. Now you don't want to just make it white, because if there are these grid lines behind each of the columns, you want those to show up just fine. So select No Fill for that, and your box plot, as you can see, is elevated to the proper height. Next off, let's take care of this median, because what's happening here is instead of it showing up as a dash, it's trying to add this median value on top of the rest of the box. So that is not what we want. And the way that you can adjust that, just select your chart, and under Chart Design, go to Change Chart Type. And the specific type that we want to change to, we want to go down here to a combo chart. And the way that this is going to work is for each of the series, you want all of them to be stacked column as they were before. So for the 25th to 50th, 50th to 75th, the bottom, make sure they're all stacked columns. And then down here for the median, you actually want to choose the option, it's a line, but specifically line with markers. So select that and hit OK. And there, it's starting to come together now. So the line you just added, yellow in this case, I'm just going to select that. And you can see over here on the series, if that's not showing up, just right-click on the series to get the context menu. And we're going to remove the line. And then here on the marker itself, under Marker Options, I'm going to use a built-in marker. I'm going to use one that's shaped more like a dash here. And I'm going to blow that up to a size of 20. Okay. And here, just between... Yeah, here, I like the longer one. So we will use that. Okay, so now the median is in there. Okay, down here, the legend. We're going to format that. I'm going to move the legend up to the top because that's, I want to make sure it's one of the first things people see when they look at the chart. And this bottom series, that's the transparent part. We don't need that in the legend because the user isn't going to see that anyway. So we just have the 3 series here that are actually visualized. And, okay, let's add on our error bars. So with the chart, just add chart element, plus sign there. And error bars, you actually want to click on the arrow to the right and go to more options. Okay, so let's add the top error bar first. So we're going to add it based on the top of the box. The top of the box is that 50% to 75%. And we are going to add a positive error bar to the top of that. So 50 to 75%. And under the error bar options over here to the far right, once again, we're going to use a plus because we want to come up above it, as you can see there. And we don't want to use a fixed value. We are going to actually use custom. We're going to specify the values that we have over here in our table. Once again, we're putting in the positive error values because we want it to come up. And okay. And once again, make sure you're selecting the top error because that's what we're adding in here now. We'll hit enter. We're not doing anything with the negative error value for the top whiskers, so we can just hit OK. And let's do just a quick sanity check here to make sure that this is showing up correctly. So, okay, here at the top error, so no error on the first one, 0.95 on the second one, nothing on the third, 2.27 there, 2.76, okay, 0.26, so this is just barely. Here, click on the error bar. You can see that here on the strategic region, it just barely rises up. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. Pass the sanity check. So now let's add error bars to the bottom. So just once again, going through the more options, and we are going to add that. We're actually going to add it to the bottom here because we want it to go up to the very top of the bottom series and come down. So I'll hit OK there. And as before, actually not like before. Before we chose plus, this is coming down, so we want it to show up as a minus. And choose custom for the error amount. Specify the values. We're not doing anything with the positive error values this time, but the negative error values, because it's dropping down, we'll just highlight the bottom error series there and hit OK. Take a look here, do a quick sanity check. 2.34. Okay, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. All right, 1.37 and then 1.81. Okay, so it looks like our error bars are exactly where we want them to be. Let's see. Yes, the title, of course. So let's do 2019 pocket price by region. And this is for product _018, which, if you'll recall, is originally what we pulled from here for this data. Okay. All right, and I would say the last thing we want to do here, let's add axis titles and then adjust the axis. So this here is pocket price, that's in USD. This here is region. And let's adjust the vertical axis here because we don't need to actually have all this white space. Like I want to blow these box plots up so people can actually see them. So let's see, let's put in a minimum of 15 there. Okay. All right, and now it is bouncing around. It's only on the odd numbers. And let's see, it looks like we could actually bring this down to 26. tell you what, let's make this 16. Okay. So we have 10 units there, a little bit of space at the top and the bottom. Everything's accurately labeled. Okay. We have a completed box plot now. Now we can actually start to take a look at, from one region to the next, exactly what's going on. I mean, two of the main things I like to look for is I like to see exactly how tall is the box in each of these regions. Because how tall the box is, that box, it represents 50% of your revenue, at least 50% of your revenue. So in cases like here in the South region, so much of that revenue is being sold right here at that 2257 point. In fact, it's the entire box. There are no bottom whiskers. There's only a top whisker. So let's see. This is essentially could be from 5% all the way up to 75%. So it could be, it's at least 70% of your overall revenue is just at that point. So comparing the heights of the boxes, even just looking at the median, if you feel like there's too much going on, remember that the median, this yellow dash, that is the center point for that region. That's the one price at which all of the revenue is either at that, half of the revenue is either at that price or below, the other half is greater than. So you can certainly just take a look right at the medians, looking from region to region, look at the heights of the boxes, see if there's anything strange happening with whiskers that are extending farther than in the other regions. But you have your box plot, so now you can actually dive into your analysis.